Hey everybody, so hopefully at this point you've watched the video, the first video of the IDES struggling with the first kind of bad experiment. And now we're going to write out the problem 11.1. Your teacher will help you conduct an experiment, family. Each member of the family will be asked to collect 1 or 2 data points in the experiment. You might notice in my video I said we're all going to go twice and then I stopped it. The reason is because there was exactly 2 lefts and 2 rights, so I was worried when I started that the randomization was going to choose all lefts or all rights, but it didn't do that, so that's why I didn't have everyone go again. Okay. A. What are the explanatory and response variables in this experiment? Okay, so explanatory is the hand chosen, and the response is time, or seconds to click the box. Okay, so remember we're on kind of the bad experiment right now. What are the treatments? Treatments are the 2 different explanatory variables, which are left hand and right hand. C. Describe the design. Is it completely randomized, blocked, matched pairs, or other? Okay, this one is completely randomized. This is kind of old information, but if you remember, you have the 4 subjects and they are randomly assigned. Right when they walk up to that computer screen, left, right, and it was not determined beforehand that they were going to be split into 2 groups of left and right. It was decided right when they went to the experiment, which makes it completely randomized. Matched pairs, hold on to that thought. Okay, and then D, sketch comparative histograms or box plots of the left-hand, right-hand data sets. Record the mean standard deviation of each one. Okay, we are not going to do the box plot business, but I did get the information from the video. So we have the left hand, there was n equals 2, so there was 2 left hand trials in my family, and their mean reaction time was 1.853 seconds, and their standard deviation was 0.743. Okay, and then the right-handed, there were 2 of those as well. I got lucky. The mean reaction time for right hand is 1.240, and the standard deviation in that case was 0.078. These numbers I'm just getting from the very end of the video. What I wanted to note is that these don't make sense to line them up in a table and subtract. So what you'll notice in the matched pairs that is in 11-2, you will see everyone doing each treatment, and then there will be a difference recorded. So that's what makes it matched pairs. This is 2 independent samples. Okay. And then E, use your gut. Does it appear that the data sets are different enough to conclude that the left hand and right hand necessarily have different reaction times in this experiment? Okay, so this is kind of E, F, and G. We're going to put E and G together here, and what we're going to do is take down the information. So the T statistic, the T value was 1.160. The degrees of freedom was 1.022. I need to stop and talk about that for a second because half of the class is yelling at the screen that the degrees of freedom is 3 because there were 4 of us. There's actually 2 different ways to calculate the degrees of freedom. One of them is a fancy complicated formula, which would give you this, and one of them is just to be conservative and take the number of trials minus 1, which is what we're going to do in class, but since it was a computer simulation, they had it do the fancy formula to get that. And then our p-value was 0.450. This is a very big p-value, which would lead us to believe that we would fail to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is no difference. Okay, now if you guys could please go watch the video with the second round of the IDES doing the better experiment, and then come back and I will go through 11.2 and 11.3.